They were taught by their mothers, written by Sister Linda Scalero, narrated by Sister Roseanne Champagne. As a parent of young adult women, I find myself praying more each day. The scriptures tell us to pray about everything, and I whisper quiet prayers frequently throughout the course of my day. I have been thinking about the examples of women in the scriptures, both Bible and Book of Mormon, who prayed. In some examples, the women's prayers are explicit, and in other examples, it is strongly implied that the results of the miracles were a product of their prayers. This is the first article in a series of women who prayed in the scriptures. The first praying women that come to mind are the mothers of the stripling warriors. This account in the Book of Mormon is a beautiful story of brave young men who had the courage to go into battle. Stripling means youth, and in this case, the stripling warriors are young men. There is some speculation as to how young these men were, but what stands out to me are the verses in Alma 56, 47 through 48. Now they never had fought, yet they did not fear death, and they did think more upon the liberty of their fathers than they did upon their lives. Yea, they had been taught by their mothers that if they did not doubt, God would deliver them. And they rehearsed it unto me the words of their mothers, saying, We do not doubt, our mothers knew it. Verse 48 amazes me. We do not doubt, our mothers knew it. First, kudos to young men giving credit to their mothers. But seriously, this doesn't just happen with one statement or overnight. I can only infer that their mothers demonstrated steadfast examples of prayer, trust, faith, and unwavering belief in their spiritual walks that were strongly noticed by their children, so much so that they demonstrated faith. As the story unfolds, the conflict of the battle is that the stripling warriors were descendants of the Lamanites. In prior scripture, the sons of Mosiah taught and converted the father of King Lamoni, who then taught the gospel to his people. The Lamanites accepted the gospel, repented of their sins, and covenanted to never again shed blood. Alma 56:6 clearly states the covenant their fathers made, which was not to take up weapons of war against their brethren to shed blood, which was a promise they vowed not to break. The Lord was in control and sent 2,000 young warriors. They won the battle without breaking that promise. Another important scripture is found in Alma 27:28. And they did look upon shedding the blood of their brethren with greatest abhorrence, and they never could be prevailed upon to take up arms against their brethren. And they never did look upon death with any degree of terror, for their hope and views of Christ and the resurrection. Therefore, death was swallowed up to them by the victory of Christ over it. Takeaways. 1. The mothers of the stripling warriors knew, because of the atonement of Jesus Christ, that death had no power. They had no fear of physical death because Jesus would conquer it and that sin would bring about death. They taught this to their children, who did not fear natural death, as explained in Alma 56:47. 2. My response to situation greatly affects my children. Just as the mothers of the warriors held firm and taught their sons not to doubt by example more than words. 3. The Lord can produce a better outcome than we could ever imagine in what may seem impossible. 4. Doubt is not only questioning whether something will happen, but it also relates to one's conviction or belief. The mothers of these warriors obviously had a strong conviction they demonstrated to their sons. The mothers of the stripling warriors are a great example to me of praying women who were strong in their conviction and raised warriors to not only face natural battles, but who had the fortitude to face spiritual battles. This can only be accomplished by the power of prayer from women who prayed.